G'day, today we're going to have a look at the Mini Motorways level of Moscow. One that I don't think is too hard. I haven't hit the 2000 yet, but I've only had a couple of plays of it. Obviously a lot of these levels will just sort of play in luck a little bit, but I think that the big thing about this one is going to be your luck in getting bridges and motorways, because there's going to be so many different river crossings. Now, speaking of that luck, I think that I have gotten lucky here, because most of the time when you start this, you'll start with a warehouse here, and then your second warehouse on the southern side of this river. So the fact that it's actually started me so far north that for at least 2 expansions of going down, potentially 3, it can't even put anything on below the river for me. I think I've gotten very lucky. I certainly haven't reached the point yet in this game where I would reset because of the starting position of the houses, but there definitely have been certain times in levels where I see the starting position and I go like, well, that's much better than what it could have been. And this is definitely one of those times. Now I expect that we'll probably get someone else in here. So we're sort of, I guess, seeing if we're working the edges of this. Pretty white or light blue are the first 2 other colours in this one, I think. Now what's good is that we've got houses on this side of this factory and houses on this side of this factory, which means that there's sort of 2 different flows that can go to these guys. That even if we get to late game, we're going to have to pull him off there for now. Take the roundabout, and we can rebuild those guys, and we can give him back his road for now. Now we will just sort of move this out a little bit and put him in there. I think one of the things that does sink you in games as well that you don't expect is your really early setups. The very beginning of the game, it sometimes might give you a couple of warehouses for the same color in a very close area, and you look at it and you set it up and it works, and great, you can set it and forget it. But what actually happens is as the game gets busier, those I can't even connect him, I don't think. No, I've got to wait for this to expand. Those become circle ones. This becomes a much more hectic. So if you do have situations where you've got 2 warehouses close like this in really beginning sections, put a roundabout between them, and that should hopefully give them a bit more durability when you get into late game. That's quite nice as well. We're definitely going to take the bridge here. Bridges are definitely going to be a necessity. Now the fact that we are getting houses on this side of the roundabout is really good too. That late game, it's going to mean that cars flowing this way aren't going to have to do all the work. They're not going to. Everyone's not going to have to commute the exact same way to get down to here. We can have cars from here going down here this way, going back to that guy. So hopefully we get a bit more of a community of houses up here. I mean, for the most part, I normally see yellow sort of built on this island along with white side by side, so it's possible they could end up here, which wouldn't be great. But if that happens now, I think my strategy would be a motorway from there over here. Now we're definitely going to get some more blue, and I imagine that that's surely got to end up over here or up here. Our blue is going to be separated too, but it'll really depend on where I guess our second blue community ends up too. If we had 5 houses here or so, we could leave this separated and just let them sort of do their own thing. I haven't used my bridge yet, but I know that bridges do become key in this one, so I will claim a second bridge. I want to build a line there too, just to may as well get these guys connected. Just more, not so much that I actually need that road. It does sort of let me know I can delete it too if I do need it for road anytime soon. But what I can do with it is, it's just basically a placeholder to stop any houses being built there that if I do eventually need it, I'm covered. Now, if this could be yellow, that would put us in a good spot too. And again, blue's been quite nice. Now, I'm going to put him there for now, but they've just extended out, haven't they? Cool. I was going to say, what I really want to do is put him back this way. And again, it's that same strategy that I'm now having traffic travel away from the other two factories to get to him, as opposed to all the traffic having to go the same one way to get to all of the factories. Alright, we'll definitely take the motorway at this stage. We won't use it yet. This guy can connect over here. In fact, we'll just pause for a second. I'll actually make this guy connect over here, because the housing is coming up on this side, so we'll want him sort of closer to where this is. We do have a bridge as well, so we'll get rid of him out of the equation for now, because you can see his two cars are sitting in his carport, so he's definitely not being used. Same goes for his friend. Now, there are 3 houses maintaining 3 factories down here, so we will, yeah, here come those yellow houses down here that I was expecting. I can't make him off that line. Ideally, I want him pointing south, just not connected to that line really, but just have to wait. Now, I suppose what I could do too is up here. I don't have any tiles, do I? Alright, let's clear that out. For now, let's take it and let us just do our adjustments. So we'll connect him to that one, and we'll connect these guys as well. Now, if I had enough road, I could actually swing these guys all the way around too. That's an okay connection. We can definitely live with that. We'll take the 30 road tiles, and we'll go down here, connect them, and we will give this connection just back, just in case these guys can't sustain it. Definitely these 2 guys will try and cover that, but it's just our emergency backup system that will allow them to continue to connect. So we'll build our tight bridge around. We do have the motorway, but we will just see, because we've only got the one motorway at the moment, we'll just hold on to it in case of emergencies. Now, this as a roundabout or even a traffic light probably would be good, because we do, because blue might use it. I suppose it's just a might at this stage, and that extra house should sort of mean that they don't have to use it anywhere near as much. Alright. So with this housing development coming up here, this is definitely where we're going to want to... Have I got a bridge still? I don't. Alright, so I was about to say where we definitely want to use that connection, but now these guys are going to have to just take advantage of that. Because we can just build a bridge too, so hopefully we're lucky enough that they give us either a motorway or a bridge, and we will just go from here to redesign this road like that and put these guys connecting to there. Amazingly, they're actually not using too many of these guys. It looks like, I suppose it will be once these guys get back, maybe they'll start to send these guys a bit more, but hopefully that cleans up the path of these a little bit. I realise these guys might address this too, because these guys will come down south to get to this one. That's handy. Okay, so if we can get a bridge, we can... These guys getting stuck back here. If we get a bridge, we can pull this motorway out of it, because that distance is definitely fine for those guys to manage. Cool, and we will take the bridge because we've got no things, and sort of buying that bridge means we do gain a motorway anyway. So what we'll do is we'll just go nice clean, try again, nice clean straight line. I think I've got to wait for that to disappear before I can... Okay. Now the question with this yellow housing down here, and if I want to use it, is where would I put it? Where would I be sending them to? And I think that the answer to that depends on if one of the two of these guys, there we go, becomes a circle. We do have the motorway on hand at the moment. We could actually put it here, because it's just a shorter route for them, and these guys can still go over and maintain this guy. I did notice, I haven't picked this up before, till any recent game, that the houses do actually flash if they're not connected to anything, which I think is a neat little thing. It's very subtle though, so you'd have to really be staring at a house to notice it. And if you're staring at a house, you may have already picked up that it's not connected. But so far we're looking quite good here, I think. Really depends on where we get, if we get some really weird placements of houses or communities. Now I think that once you sort of go on a bit, you can see that with a lot of these houses, say for example the guys up here, the guys down here, they're just not being used. So there's no necessarily like urgency to get everyone connected to everything. So say this house here and this white house up here, we can just let them be. Actually, let's get this guy to connect up there. We've got no bridges left. We'll take them. I don't think we're going to need to make any super long roads anymore, so I don't think the 30 tiles is really going to be of benefit. Whereas I think that bridge we could probably work something with. For example, that guy. Okay. So what we can do is maybe do that. Sometimes you can see I sort of actively get them off the road. It's just in case they decide they want to slow down in order to get onto a, go past a driveway. It's really the reason I do that. It might not impact anything, but also for me I think partly as well, it's that this house is already in an unusable spot, and if I put its driveway north, it means I'm cancelling out just one potential spot they could put another house of that same type. Alright, well that's quite a nice placement. Just got to work out if we can afford a road to put there, and we will. We'll use these guys' road for now. And we'll put him in the center. Now the problem with that is it means we have to wait for all the guys to get off that road, which hopefully is just him, before it'll let me reclaim that road. Not sure we've got any room for roundabouts, and I did run out of squares just then, so we will opt for the extra road. Now this isn't necessarily great here. Probably I could have used a roundabout here in retrospect. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Potentially if we get another motorway as well, we can just try and split this up a bit. At least we've got these guys separated. Alright, at least we can address this guy without needing to make any dramatic changes at this point. And we will just leave it like that for now. You can see this is starting to get a bit blocked too. We'll just pause for a moment and redesign this. So we'll try and pull this out. That's exactly the same thing I just had, isn't it? Okay. If we do that, I guess that, make them a little bit, stop them from slowing down so much going past so many driveways. It is a real bummer that they've stopped giving us motorways at this point. I think this is actually a potential bad luck thing that's going to make us lose, is just the bad luck of not getting motorways when we need to get motorways. So what we can possibly do is get rid of that connector and just put it like that. Basically to discourage these guys from taking care of that and try and encourage these guys to do it. There's a lot of cars heading south though. We do have an extra bridge. Let's see if that helps their situation too. Because what it hopefully means is that these guys will go around that way to get to there too. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner. Okay. This has sort of cleaned itself up a bit nicer too. Yellow's doing okay. These guys are managing down here. Fine. Greenhouse, you don't belong. You don't belong, but I can't do anything with you. Okay, let's take a motorway. Let's see. Connect this guy here. I think this motorway is reserved for whatever warehouse ends up here. Whoop. Nope, I guess it's for whatever warehouse ends up randomly down the bottom there. Okay, let's have a look. Who's not being used? So the houses in the top here aren't. So let's just chuck this. It's a really weird spot to sort of have to put it in the middle of these, but if I put it outside, they're gonna... let's try this. Let's put it there, and we'll take these four guys and make that their job. Oh, let's actually connect it to something. Now, one thing that is a plus and a minus, sorry, a plus more than anything, as you get more warehouses, the amount of load of those particular styles of houses actually does change. So, should be okay, even though these have now just suddenly gotten worse. I think what's I've caused here is because I've changed that route, they've just done a sudden adjustment in the way that they're shifting to houses. There we go, 2,000. So we've got there either way, even though this part wasn't pretty. But I think that what's happened now is there's just an adjustment um, to the change. Um, Now hopefully this guy here just means that we're going to get a green there, but we are looking pretty ordinary in a few different spots. There's a lot of blue coming this way now. Possibly these blue guys came to just help the load, I think. I've caused my own sort of congestion, so we'll just take that. We'll put a set of traffic lights there. And I might just chuck a set here as well, because that's getting a bit congested too. I'll just move that so you can have a look at the traffic lights if you're curious to see how they sort of function in a situation like this. We'll get this guy involved. I think yellow is possibly going to sink on me now. Yeah, I guess this traffic light actually could be hurting a little bit there. Get rid of that for now. So we're about to sink on this guy just here. Yeah, that yellow line sort of just became its own little mess. Did I have a motorway I could have used? No, I had a traffic light. Anyway, that's an alright score. There we go. That's Moscow. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And till next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.